Hello, this is Wendy Kirkland. Today I'm going to speak to the trader who is brand new to the stock market and perhaps has never looked at a stock chart before. And I'm going to discuss and cover the basic information that can be found on a stock chart and point out the benefits that it has. These particular charts are provided by stockcharts.com. It's a subscription service. They do have free charts. The symbol that you'd like to look at can be placed in this spot right here, and you can change it. Today I have put in Home Depot, which is a company that most of us are familiar with. If you want to look at IBM, you would put in IBM symbol, click update, and it would give you a chart for IBM. Today, like I said, we're going to concentrate on Home Depot. You can see again the symbol mentioned here, the name of the company. It is on the New York Stock Exchange. Other stocks would be on other exchanges. This particular one trades on the New York Stock Exchange. Coming down a little further here, it is in the service sector and is in the industry of retail and home improvement. Further across is today's date, or the date of this particular chart. Going down the left-hand side, open is the price of the stock when it opened this morning. High is the price of the stock, the highest point that it reached during the period of the day. Low is the low point of the day, or up to that point in the day. This could be a chart that you're looking at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it would be the low point to that time. Previous close is what it closed at yesterday. Ask is the amount that a particular buyer wants to pay for purchasing shares of Home Depot. And ask size, this number 4, is the number of shares that he is interested in purchasing. Now this number 4 is multiplied by 100, so he actually is interested in purchasing 400 shares. Bid is what the seller of the shares would pay to purchase them back, and bid size is the number of shares that he is interested in purchasing, and that too is multiplied by 100. Now I'm going to skip all the way over here to the right hand side, and then we'll go back to that middle column. The volume is the volume, the number of shares that have been traded up to this point in the day. Last is the very last amount or price that the stock has been traded at. Change is what the change is per day from when it opened. And so you have the opening amount here, and it is up by 12 cents as of the last trade, and the 0.31 is the percentage of the change. Now the PE ratio over here stands for price to earnings, and this information can tell you how effective a company is in running its business, and I'll tell you exactly how this is figured in a few moments. EPS is earnings per share, and the last kind of corresponds to this figure over here. This was the last trade, and so it was 340,199 shares that were traded at this 39.34. VWAP is volume weight average price, which is the average price of the shares transacted during the day. So if you took the open and the highs and the lows and so on, and you average those out, you are going to end up with the VWAP, the volume weight average price. Now, I mentioned that I would tell you how to figure the PE, or the earnings per share, and what the benefit of that is. That if you have the PE ratio, you can divide the last by the PE ratio, and this will give you the earnings per share. Or if you happen to have the earnings per share, you can divide the last by the earnings per share, and it will give you the PE ratio. The PE ratio can tell you if a certain stock is undervalued. An example would be if 20 stocks in the same sector are trading with a PE ratio of 15 and one stock in the sector has a PE ratio of 10, it may be undervalued and warrant a closer look. So this is information that as you begin to trade can tell you a little bit more about the company and its value. Now, another way to think about the PE ratio is that it can be translated into years. In a sense, what it is saying is that it would take X number of years, in this case 16.96 years, would be required to pay back the purchase price if you ignored inflation and other variables. And so this again gives you an idea as far as the value of the stock and the effectiveness of the company. When you are creating a stock chart, and that is what you are able to do when you either have a subscription or free charts, whether it be on your platform at a place like stockcharts.com, you are able to add indicators. And I have just placed one here at the top of the chart. RSI is Relative Strength Index, and it shows whether the stock at the moment is in bullish territory and is following an upward trend, or in bearish territory and going into a downward trend. Above the 50 line is considered bullish. Down below the 50 line is considered bearish. And you can see as the line has dropped here below the 50, it corresponded with a drop in the price of the stock. Now, I haven't actually explained what these little tick marks are, but I just want to point out that you can kind of make a correlation between this drop and what you are actually seeing in the price of the stock here. Here's a place where it crossed up, and you can see that the candlesticks crossed up. Now, kind of stepping back here to explain, each one of these little dash marks is a candlestick, and it gives a great deal of information. And on my next lesson, I'm going to actually go into what each of these little dashes, these little colored marks, tells you. But for right now, understand that this candle right here that I'm pointing at is the last candle. This is what transpired today. This is what transpired yesterday. This was the day before and the day before that. So as you move back further to the left, you're going back in time. So you are able to see how this stock has performed since, say, the 1st of October. It has been in a nice uptrend, and it has climbed up. It has had a point where it dropped for a few days, and then it has resumed its uptrend. The EMAs over here show averages. The 9 EMA is the average of the stock movement over a period of 9 days. The 15 EMA shows you an average of the stock movement over the course of a 15-day period, 50-day, and 200-day. At the moment, Home Depot's price is above all of its moving averages, which is a sign that the stock will continue going up. Again, that would be in a future lesson, but you want to be able to see the candlesticks either above or below their EMAs, and this is giving you those average places so that you can see in the short term it is up above its 9, 15, 50 EMAs. Down below you have gray and red, not candles, but tick marks, and these are volume, and this shows you the volume that is transacted each day. So that here today you can see there was half the volume of the 2 previous days, and you can see the large up movement here. Prior to that, we were on kind of a downward slope during the time period that things were selling off. So they give you an idea of the activity during the particular period, the day, the week, as far as you want to look back. This kind of gives you the basic information that you can find on a chart without adding any of the additional indicators that you might want to look at to fine-tune the movement of the stock. I'm going to, like I said, in the next lesson, cover what can be determined from just this little candlestick, and with the hope that that will help you to better understand the movement of the stock. Again, this is Wendy Kirkland. Have a great afternoon.